Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most technically difficult female roles to sing and perform, often played by some of the biggest stars of the stage.
A tiger in a cage can never see the sun. This diva needs her stage, baby. Let's have fun!
Number 30. Fosca, Passion.
I read to live in other people's lives.
In this lesser-known Stephen Sondheim musical, Fosca is a chronically ill and profoundly sad woman living in her own fantasies. She falls desperately in love with the soldier Giorgio. Her love for him is so deep and fierce that it threatens to destroy them both.
I don't know how I let you so far inside my mind.
It takes profound power and presence as a performer to sell Fosca's longing without coming off as ridiculous. When played well, it's shattering. The role has been taken on by stars like Maria Friedman, Judy Kuhn, and Patti LuPone. Donna Murphy won a Tony for the 1994 production.
I will live and I would die for you.
Number 29. The Lady of the Lake, Spamalot. Sara Ramirez made it look effortless, but that's what made their Tony-winning performance as the Lady of the Lake such a miracle.
Life is really up to you. You must choose what to pursue. Oh, yeah.
Spamalot turns the mythical enchantress of Arthurian legend into a high-maintenance diva. True to form, she gets some of the showiest and most challenging numbers. To the character's great disappointment, she gets a bit sidelined in the second act, but she still gets one of the most belt-heavy solos in modern musicals on her way out. To sell this role, you have to have truly legendary vocal and comedic chops. Luckily, performers like Ramirez and Hannah Waddingham have been up to the task.
And then we changed the key.
Number 28. Trina, Falsettos. I'm Breaking Down is a classic comedy number, but it's also a trap.
If I repeat one more word, I swear I'll lose my brain. Oh, what else should I explain? Oh, yes, it's true. I can cry on cue, but so can you. I'm breaking down.
The song encompasses everything that's so hard to get right about Trina. She is one or two exaggerated gestures from being a complete caricature of a woman wronged by a man. A performer who can't balance motivated comedy with actual humanity could turn a great and complex character into a one-note joke.
I've played the foolish clown, the almost virgin who sings this dirge is on the verge of breaking down.
As any heartbroken fan can tell you, Falsettos becomes a lot less funny in its second act. Trina follows suit, meaning the actor also has to sell some more dramatic and poignant moments before the curtain goes down.
Trying to keep sane as the rules keep changing. Keeping up my head as my heart falls out of sight.
Number 27. Cassie, a chorus line.
Let me wake up in the morning to find I have somewhere exciting to go.
The entire ensemble of this dance-based musical is full of broken dreams and being spitting distance from stardom. Cassie is the character closest to being a real star. She's talented, charismatic, and respected. Yet she's still at this audition for a chorus part. But even if she can't be a star in her own right, she lives to dance.
Put me to work, you would think that by now I'm alone. I'll do you proud.
Her defiant and passionate solo, The Music and the Mirror, is one of the show's most notable moments. Everyone in the cast has to dance, but this moment requires an actor who can sell the emotion of a scene with her words, voice, and body.
All I ever needed was the music and the mirror and the chance to dance.
Number 26. The Witch, Into the Woods. If you want murky morality, look no further than any Stephen Sondheim musical. But the linchpin character of Into the Woods is a tall order.
I'm not good, I'm not nice, I'm just right. I'm the witch, you're the world.
Bernadette Peters originated the role on Broadway and set the standard for the character's tight punchlines and resonant numbers about everything from parenting to vegetables. Masterful technique is a requirement.
What is there that I cannot supply? Stay with me.
The score is constantly keeping the performer on her toes with beautiful melodies, shifting tempos, and even a rap about her prized garden. More than that, though, the actor playing the witch has to be able to oscillate between the character's villainy and vulnerability.
Children can only grow from something you love to something you lose.
Number 25. Audrey, Little Shop of Horrors. What musical theater ingenue doesn't secretly think she can do Audrey? Two things work against anyone trying to make this character their own. One, it's a delicate balance between making her funny and making her a joke.
He'd snap his fingers, me, I'd say sure.
She's a clear take on a particular platinum blonde archetype, but she's also wise and empathetic. The second challenge is that original off-Broadway actress Ellen Greene put such a strong stamp on the role that anyone who takes it on is almost sure to fall short. Her accent and phrasing have almost become synonymous with Audrey. If you're going to play her, you need to have an original take.
In the pine so scented air, somewhere that's green.
Number 24. Daisy and Violet Hilton, Sideshow.
We were meant to share each moment. Beside you is where I will stay.
Technically, this is two roles, but if it's good enough for the Tonys, it's good enough for us. Alice Ripley and Emily Skinner shared a joint nomination for originating the roles of Daisy and Violet Hilton in Sideshow.
Evermore and always, we'll be one though we're two.
Based on the lives of two real conjoined twins who were featured in vaudeville shows in the 1930s, the actors' costumes are fused together, requiring them to move as one. This is a challenge that forces performers to completely change the way they're used to moving on stage. That's to say nothing of the soaring vocals and harmonies they're meant to perform. Number 23. Amy, Company.
Listen, everybody, look, I don't know what you're waiting for. A wedding, what's a wedding? It's a prehistoric ritual where everybody promises fidelity forever, which is maybe the most horrifying word I've ever heard.
Other than its lead character, the chronically unmarried Bobby, most of the characters who appear in Company are in it for a good time, not a long time. One of the show's most famous numbers is Getting Married Today, a tongue-twisting, oxygen-defying song sung by Amy.
Listen, everybody, I'm afraid you didn't hear or do you want to see a crazy lady fall apart in front of you? It isn't only Paul who may be ruining his life. You know what, both of us be losing our identities. I telephoned my analyst about it and he said to see him Monday, but by Monday I'll be floating in the Hudson with the other garbage. I'm not well.
It's her wedding day, and her anxiety about being a married woman reaches a fever pitch. There's hardly any space to breathe. It's a good thing Amy's performer is off stage for most of the show. She probably needs time to prepare. And she probably needs the rest of the show to recover.
Listen, I didn't want to have to tell you, but I may be coming down with hepatitis and I think I'm gonna faint. So if you want to see me faint, I'll do it happily. But wouldn't it be funnier to go and watch a funeral? So thank you for the 27 dinner plates, the 37 butter knives, the 47 paperweights, the 57 candles.
One more thing.
I'm not getting married.
Number 22. Maria, The Sound of Music.
Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start.
Considering the legendary status of the actresses who played her, Maria is a deceptively difficult role. Mary Martin on Broadway and Julie Andrews on film make it look easy, but it takes a lot of effort to play the novice nun in Rodgers and Hammerstein's The Sound of Music. That's true even before you consider how hard it is to sing the role.
I have confidence the world can all be mine. They'll have to agree I have confidence in me.
Maria requires a performer to have a clarity of pitch and tone that's not easily earned or kept. It also tasks her with playing the character's inherent goodness without coming off as too corny or naive.
Excuse me, sir, I don't know your signal.
You may call me Captain.
Number 21, Timoon, Once on This Island.
Don't single me out and then forget me.
Adapted as a retelling of The Little Mermaid and set in the Antilles, Once on This Island tells the story of Timoon, a peasant girl of local myth. She becomes enamored with a rich man and gets caught up in the complicated racial and class dynamics at play on the island. Oh, and there's also a bet between 4 powerful gods.
And when they see you safe with me, the gods will smile.
When playing Timoon, a performer has to carry herself with ethereal grace, yet still be believable as a fragile and wide-eyed young woman. The musical puts her through the ringer, and it takes an actor who can tap into an inner strength to really pull it off.
I'm here in the field with my feet on the ground and my feet in the air, waiting for life to begin.
Number 20, Angelica Schuyler, Hamilton.
I've been reading Common Sense by Thomas Paine. Some men say that I'm intense or I'm insane. You want a revolution, I want a revelation. So listen to my declaration.
The Schuyler sisters are a wonderful trio, and while Alexander's wife Eliza has emotionally taxing and difficult songs like Burn,
You have torn it all apart, I'm watching it.
her sister has some as well, and requires excellent rapping abilities on top of that. This is no easy task, and isn't all that's demanded from Angelica, as she also has some pretty high notes to hit in her songs.
In the greatest city, in the greatest city.
Conveying the jealousy and longing of Angelica, alongside the deep love she feels for her sister, is also a tricky prospect. This role requires a lot of talent for the performance to be considered satisfactory.
I'm a girl in a world in which my only job is to marry rich. My father has no son, so I'm the one who has to social climb for one. So I'm the oldest and the wittiest and the gossip in New York City is.
Number 19, Veronica Sawyer, Heathers the Musical. This protagonist just can't catch a break. She gets bullied, her boyfriend turns out to be a murderer, and she has the most vocally challenging role in the show. While Heather Chandler has some difficult notes and riffs to hit in her songs,
Step into my candy store.
Veronica has to do it on a much higher scale, with a large number of pop rock songs, hard riffs, and impossible belts. Portraying the inner struggles of a high school girl who has to deal with accidentally aiding in the murder of her peers makes this role difficult to act as well. But if done well, it really is something beautiful.
It's not too late, I'm getting straight. I say no.
Number 18, Tracy Turnblad, Hairspray.
Good morning, Baltimore. Every day's like an open door. Every night is a fantasy.
You can't stop this crazy talented chick from dancing and singing to her heart's content, and the woman who plays her has to be ready for it.
Can't win his love, well, just wait and see. 'Cause I can hear the bells, just hear them chiming. I can hear the bells.
Tracy has to carry a lot of the show with her acting, singing, and dancing, so a triple threat is required. She's on stage for the majority of the show, and has to be singing and dancing with a big smile on her face for most of it. Maintaining a bubbly attitude while working hard physically and vocally is tremendously difficult, but that's what makes Tracy so fun and rewarding.
If you try to hold me down, I'm gonna straight in your eye and say, you can't stop me.
Number 17, Glinda, Wicked.
It's good to see me, isn't it? No need to respond. That was rhetorical.
For many actresses, this role will be the toughest challenge they've yet to face.
Popular. I'll help you be popular. You'll hang with the right cohorts. You'll be good at sports. Know the slang you've got to know. So let's start, 'cause you've got an awfully long way to go.
with some impressively high notes to hit, and having to juggle between her head voice and her mix range, Glinda requires strong vocal ability for anyone wishing to take on the role of the Good Witch of the South. The actress also needs to balance the character's dumb blonde popular girl personality with the surprising depth of Glinda that the audience is gradually introduced to.
There are bridges you cross you didn't know you crossed until you crossed.
In addition, the chemistry between Glinda and the other lead Elphaba is what the whole show centers around, and thus needs to be strong.
Loathing, unadulterated loathing for your face,
Your voice.
your clothing. Let's just say I loathe it all.
Speaking of, we may see more of our green friend in a little bit. Number 16, Mrs. Lovett, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
Righty Wazza, would you like a drop of ale? Mind you, I can't hardly blame them. These are probably the worst pies in London.
She may have the worst pies in London, but she's also got some of the trickiest songs. As in many shows written by Stephen Sondheim, the songs for Mrs. Lovett are tough in large part due to the fast and constantly changing tempos.
Good, you got it. Take the rest of it. Business never better using only pussycats and toast. Now a pussy's good for maybe 6 or 7 at the most.
The actress who takes on the role has to be a master of controlling her breath to be able to sing these songs as they're meant to be sung. What makes the role even more challenging is that Mrs. Lovett as a character is a demon to figure out. She needs to be seen as caring, in love, and murderous, not exactly a walk in the park.
Eat them slow, cause everyone's a prize. Eat them slow, cause that's the lot, and now we sold it. Down again tomorrow, hold it. Less miles, fresh supplies.
Number 15, Velma Kelly, Chicago.
Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town? I know that jazz, I'm gonna rouge my knees and roll my stockings down.
This is a really killer role. Being able to do this kind of intense jazz dancing throughout the show requires real talent, and to do it while singing at the same time.
But I simply cannot do it alone.
Well, unfortunately, Velma has to do it alone. This femme fatale also has to make an audience love her, despite the fact that she's, well, you know, a murderer. This triple threat performer may not be the star like Roxy, but she's got a lot of work to do.
You can like the life you're living. You can live the life you like.
When done well, this role is a real showstopper, as numbers like Cell Block Tango can attest to.
It wasn't until later, when I was washing the blood off my hands, I even knew they were dead.
They had it coming. 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 They had it all along.
Number 14, Norma Desmond, Sunset Boulevard. Not only does Norma Desmond have to perform some of Andrew Lloyd Webber's greatest songs, the actress has her work cut out for her in trying to portray a delusional former starlet.
Silent music starts to play. One tear in my eye makes the whole world cry. With one look, they'll forgive the past.
The character is stuck in a fantasy, reliving her glory days in some heartfelt songs, both conveying a sense of greatness and madness to the audience. Norma needs a magnetic stage presence that's incredibly compelling and also slightly frightening. And did we mention the songs? The range required for these is typical of Webber's work, but just because it's expected does not mean it's easy.
Feel the early morning madness. Feel the magic in the making. Why, everything's as if we never said goodbye.
Number 13, Kim, Miss Saigon. This role is an absolute beast. It demands a lot of emotion, power, and presence from a relatively young actress. Moreover, Kim sings pretty much every other song, and these songs are tough to boot.
To hold you tight and dance like it's the last night of the world.
This dynamic performance would be hard for anyone, but forcing a young actress to tackle the themes of love, abandonment, heartbreak, and sacrifice in a very real way is a challenge.
I know as long as I can keep believing, I live.
Kim may be fictional, but her experience was very real for many in Vietnam. And capturing those intense emotions and turning it into a performance is very difficult.
As long as you can have your chance, I swear I'll give my life for you.
Number 12, Grizabella, Cats. The roles on this list are all difficult in their own unique ways, but for the vast majority of them, the actresses at least get to play humans.
You see the border of her coat is torn and stained with sand.
Imagine having to sing some powerful Andrew Lloyd Webber songs, portray a deep nostalgia and longing for acceptance, while also playing a cat. Grizabella's song Memory is phenomenal and one of the most mainstream musical theater songs of all time. And so taking on the role has the added pressure of handling this famous and heartfelt ballad.
Talk to me. It's so easy to leave me all alone with the memory.
Number 11, Christine, the Phantom of the Opera. It should be no surprise to see another Andrew Lloyd Webber role is on this list. Musically, this is one of the most challenging roles out there. Christine requires a high soprano singer who has at least studied classically and knows opera techniques. Moreover, Christine is on stage for most of the show and is constantly singing, meaning she has very few breaks. Christine's high note at the end of the titular song is so hard to hit, in fact, that the actresses are said to pre-record the note in case they feel that they cannot hit it during a show, lip-syncing instead. That's completely understandable. Having to hit that even a few times a week could really destroy your voice.
Sing, my angel of music, sing for me!
Number 10, Caroline Thibodeau, Caroline or Change. Though the mood of this musical is low nearly throughout, following the story of an African-American maid to a Jewish family in the 1960s, it never stops singing.
$30 ain't enough.
And for the actress playing the titular role, that means much of the singing is hers, be it in solo or group numbers. Telling a beautifully honest tale about the working poor through blues, spirituals, and folk music, this actress must keep the audience engaged while keeping the character true to her bent, but not broken nature. It is tough, but dang is it ever worth it to tell this heart-rending story.
My hope of him returning, strangle the pride that make me crazy.
Number 9, Effie Melody White, Dreamgirls. This decade-spanning story about love and betrayal in the music industry is certainly going down in history as one of the greats. And with a gorgeous amount of confidence in her dream and in herself, the emotional role of Effie White is one for the ages, but not at all for the faint of voice. With a beautiful mezzo-soprano and insane belting, this role is only for the brave, especially, as we all know, with the crazy "And I Am Telling You I'm Not Going." Number 8, Elle Woods, Legally Blonde. Though you need a killer soprano voice to bring down the house as Vivian Kensington,
That is the rule. I do not
it's the lead of this musical romantic comedy that takes this spot. With dancing skills to pay those Harvard bills and crazy vocal abilities, the part of Elle Woods demands a lot of its actress.
I object.
Plus, with the movie franchise, any pink-clad daughter of Delta Nu has a lot to live up to.
What, like it's hard?
But you can also learn a lot from Elle Woods, like how to win a court case with hair care knowledge, and of course, how to bend and snap.
Not the time to overthink, just try it once. I'll buy you a drink.
Number 7. Fanny Brice, Funny Girl.
I've got no ex to grind. Hey, what are you, blind?
From Folly's Girl to vaudevillian star, that is the life of Fanny Brice that this Broadway classic follows. But while Fanny is fun, and obviously funny, her role is also incredibly taxing. With costume changes galore, and a need to almost constantly be on stage, this part could easily wear out a less experienced actress. This, plus the vocal demands, are crazy as hell. So we don't mean to rain on your parade, just prepare for some intensity when taking on this role. But always have fun.
Rain on my boat.
Number 6. Reno Sweeney, Anything Goes.
I'm a worthless jack, a total wreck, a flop. But if baby I'm the bottom, you're the top.
Tie on your dance shoes tight for this one, ladies. Reno Sweeney will keep your feet flying throughout this stamina-breaking musical. Not only that, but you have to keep on singing too. Yes, there is a lot of energy required to play this outspoken gal. And with such intense demands of the actress, you either have to give it your all, or give it nothing at all.
In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked on as something shocking, but now God knows anything goes.
So if you've got the itch and the talent to play a funny, confident, and sassy nightclub singer, we propose Anything Goes. Number 5. Elphaba, Wicked. From her days in the belt-crazy role of Maureen Johnson in Rent, we all know Idina Menzel has left behind some tough, but highly coveted shoes to fill on the Great White Way, and Wicked's Elphaba is definitely no exception. With the ability to make the audience love her while knowing she'll ultimately become the wickedest villain in Oz, it takes a special type of woman to take on this role. Mix that with some of the most powerful numbers on modern Broadway, both solo and duet, and you've got yourself one green-skinned powerhouse of a part.
And though I may know, I don't care.
Number 4. Diana Goodman, Next to Normal. As the plot of this musical unravels, it reveals that, like every family, there is more going on behind closed doors. And the unsteady center of this story, Diana Goodman, has it the hardest.
I miss the mountains. I miss my life.
Playing a suburban mother who suffers from bipolar disorder, as well as delusions of her dead son, is quite the difficult role. This modern musical touches on subjects that hit close to home for some, and makes issues of mental illness more accessible to those who have not always understood them.
You say that you're hurting, it sure doesn't show. You don't know, it lays me so low.
As such, this heavy matriarch role is one that must be played with an understanding hand, but emotionally raw voice. Number 3. Celie, The Color Purple. This powerful musical adaptation of Alice Walker's novel might have only had a few years on the Great White Way, but that has not stopped it from having international success. And over the course of this melancholy story, Celie grows and changes right before the audience's eyes.
Oh, beautiful. And
much of the drama of this musical rests squarely on her shoulders, as she loves and learns the ways of the world she lives in. And with jazz, the blues, and other folk and soul sounds riddled throughout this classic tale, it takes a strong woman to carry that weight. Number 2. Eva Perón, Evita. This Broadway classic follows the true rags to riches story of Eva Perón as she steps into the limelight of 1940s Argentina. And the moment she takes the stage, it's clear she's a presence to be reckoned with. Much like Celie, the audience watches this incredible character grow, in this case from a young girl into a powerful first lady of her home country. With each song being a monologue turning the page on a new chapter of this amazing woman's life, an actress must handle this role with a strong voice and acting range. But if you wish to join the ranks of Patti LuPone and Madonna, Argentina just may be crying for you.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Mama Rose, Gypsy.
Now's your inning. Stand the world on its ear.
Long before the days of Honey Boo Boo and Mama June, there was Mama Rose, pushing her daughters into the limelight in order to live vicariously through them. And Gypsy puts this quintessential stage mom's descent into madness on full display.
Honey, everything's coming up roses for me and for you.
Carrying most of the weight of this musical right up until the final killer number, this hellish tour de force takes a lot out of an actress, with raw passion and wild emotions. The energy level required of this role could drain even the best of actresses, and you best make Mama proud.
Well, someone tell me, when is it my turn? Don't I get a dream for myself? Starting now, it's gonna be my turn. Gangway world, get off of my runway.
What do you think is the hardest role on this list? Let us know in the comments.
Look, you know I adore you all, but why watch me die like Eliza on the ice? But perhaps I'll collapse in the apse right before you also take back the cake, burn the shoes and boil the rice.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.